Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host Khalid Mohidin, and this is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. So, on today's show, we're going to talk about the Proteas and their need for balance. Now, with the tours being announced and the bumper fixture list that has been announced for South Africa summer, it's really exciting now that we can start to talk about teams, start talk about selections, start talking about different players that could be in the side, etc. And I think now is the perfect time to start talking about these things. So this is one of the problems that I think that South Africa have, and I thought that this would be an epic topic to speak about today. But before we get going, guys, don't forget to click subscribe, click that notification bell for future videos. Let's get into the topic. So how I came up with this topic is when we were doing our squad selections, and we know how heated it got in the comment section. We couldn't make up our minds about certain players. We were chopping and changing even after the squad was created. We had the fans vote. There was a lot of variables that we had to look at and a lot of different scenarios that we had to put in front of us before we could actually come to a conclusion on the squad. Besides the facts about who should be the opening batting pair and who should be at number 4, whether AB should be back or not, whether we should play Morris, all of these things were debates that we came across. But the major thing that stood out to me about all my research so far and all the conversations that I've had so far is whether the Proteas should pick a T20 squad that is ready to beat England right now, or whether we should bowl the squad from the get-go, select a side for the T20 series that can win the T20 World Cup. Now, because the T20 World Cup is in India next year, we need to be able to find the balance that can play in those conditions. So it's so important to have that available. Generally speaking, teams would go for extra spinners. Because it's the T20 format, you need those guys that can hold an end and keep the score rate down as much as possible. The aim is to be able to bowl out the team for as least amount of runs as possible, or to allow them to run out of overs for the least amount of runs as possible. So in order to allow them to run out of time and run out of overs, you need to be able to bowl economical type of bowlers in the middle overs so that they can stop their scoring rate. It's obviously the ideal situation is to strike early and put those top 3, top 4 batsmen back in the dugout as soon as possible, and then limit the big hitters as much as possible. So obviously put them under pressure, bowl very tightly from both ends, and try to throttle the opposition as much as you can. So what does that mean? A lot of teams will pick more than 2 spinners. And the way they do that is by picking a batsman that can spin, right? So that can bowl a couple of overs, maybe 1 or maybe 2. Or they'll go for a spinner that can bat a little lower down. So those are the various options that you can go with. You can also go with a guy that can spin but doesn't bat at all. And that's normally your strike spinner. Like South Africa have Imran Tahir, India have Chahal, whereas with England have spinners that can bat. Moeen Ali, he's a very good batter as well. So those are the type of options that you want to have available in your side. So when it comes to picking that second spinner, if South Africa go with, for example, Imran Tahir and Tabaresh Shamsi as their 2 spinners, it depends how many bowlers you want to pick in your side now. Do you want to pick some strike bowlers? So obviously Kagiso Rabada has to be picked. I think you build your team around Kagiso and Quinton de Kock. So you pick Kagiso Rabada as your main bowler. Now you need his partner. So you either go for Anrich Nokia or you go for Lungi Ngidi. At least you want to be able to pick minimum 5 bowlers that can bowl 4 overs each. So then you need to go for either another spinner. You can go for either Shamsi, or you can go for another seamer. So some people like to put in Lungi Ngidi in that equation, who can bowl the middle overs with the spinners, or he can open the bowling, or he can bowl at the death. That's the similar for all 3 of those fast bowlers. So South Africa, at that point in time, those guys don't necessarily, you wouldn't consider them as batsmen. So that means that your top 6 needs to be potent with regards to batting. When you get to that number 7 role, that's when you start to have decisions that you need to make. Do you pick a bowler that can bowl 4 overs? Do you pick a batsman that can bowl, or do you pick a bowler that can bat? That's where the equation comes in, because especially with that number 6 position, it's going to decide who you pick at number 6. So if you're going to pick a bowler like Andile Pechelquayo, who can bowl 4 overs, that means that you are going to be bowling very light. You have to rely on those 5 bowlers to be able to bowl for you. If an injury happens during the game, you're going to be in trouble. So do you have a cover for that bowler? That's where your number 6 comes in to find the balance right. So say now you pick Andile Pechelquayo at 7. He can bowl and he can bat a bit. He's more of a bowling all-rounder than a batting all-rounder. If you go for Morris, I think Morris's batting is better, but you have an extra option as a strike bowler. So you'll have to probably use Morris as a strike bowler and have Lungi in the middle overs. And maybe you can keep Andrich Nokia for the last 4 overs, obviously to bowl at the tail, most likely to just clean up that tail. And then you can maybe open the bowling with someone like Morris and someone like Tahir, or you can open the bowling with someone like Kagiso Rabada and Chris Morris. That's another option. You also have the option to obviously bowl Lungi, or you can bowl Andrich, but it's all about that balance. Then you'll have to pick a number 6. There are so many options for the number 6 position. You can either go for a batsman that can spin the ball. So now you have 2 spinners in the side with Imran Tahir and another spinner that can bowl 2 overs or 3 overs. Or you can have a batsman that can spin a little bit. So he can keep 1 or 2 overs for you. He's not necessarily going to bowl you for a full 4 overs, but he can bowl 1 or 2 for you. Or you can go for a guy that is completely a spinner that can bat a little bit. Now, obviously, then you'll have to move your all-rounder up a spot. So the all-rounder that you pick must be able to hold the bat, and you'll have to move that spinner that can bat a little lower down. So those are the different options that you have to play with. So to give you some context with regards to some of those players, when I'm looking at batsmen that can actually spin the ball, you've got the likes of John Smuts, who can bat up the order. He can bat anywhere in the top 6. Then you've got the likes of Vian Libber, who can bat anywhere in the top 6. Then you've got a guy like George Linder, who can bat anywhere from 5 to 7, 5 to 8. So he's more of a spinning all-rounder. He can, especially I'm talking about now with regards to limited overs cricket. Yes, he has hit a couple of hundreds, but I would consider him more of a spinner that can bat really well. I wouldn't consider him as a Vian Libber, who can bat really well, but also can spin decently as well. Got a guy like Bryce Parsons coming through the system. I don't think that he would be in contention yet for Proteas. I think he's maybe a little bit too young, but he has the potential. But he bats in the top 3, and he can spin the ball. Dylan Matthews, who can spin the ball and bat a little bit. Then you got Sundaram Mutasamy, who can spin the ball and bat a little bit. And then you also got the guys like Keshav Maharaj, who can spin and bat. Bjorn Fortuin, who can spin and bat. Pedelin Sobrayan, who can spin and bat. So there's a couple of guys that I've mentioned here that have the spinning ability, but can hold the bat a little bit. But with South Africans' batting issues, you'd want a guy in that number 6 position that can really bat really well and maybe offer you a little bit with the ball. JP Dumini used to be that guy for South Africa. In that number 6 position, could bat in the number 6 position, number 5 position, number 4 position, but he could offer you a little bit of spin as well, and he can take important wickets, and he could hold the end nicely as well. So he gave you that extra spinner option, but he also was an extremely good batsman. Actually, best T20 batsman in South Africa's ever had. So who can do that JP Dumini role? Because if we had JP Dumini back, I think that is the main thing that you'd like to see, is a guy that can do that JP Dumini role for us. Aiden Markram has proven it. He's shown that he can spin a little bit, bowl 1 or 2 overs. But that's the importance of the balance in the side. You need to find the right balance between those players. Now, I've rattled off so many names for you guys to think about. And I've tried to put something in front of you guys so you can understand how we need to get that balance right. Because ultimately, we're going to need to put guys in positions so that we can be able to switch and turn it on to different circumstances. For example, if you're only going to trust 5 bowlers, you're going to need to make sure that those 5 bowlers can bowl all those 4 overs, and they need to be exceptionally on point. They need to make the least amount of mistakes as possible. So until they can't go for expensive overs, because there's nobody else to bowl then if you're going to pick 6 batsmen. What I would do is try to find a number 6 that can bat really well, but can bowl 1 or 2 overs to take the pressure off someone that has been punished. So that's my suggestion for the Proteas, to find that balance, is to find a number six that can bowl spin, take the pressure off the other bowlers so that they don't feel that they need to be on point for that 4 overs. So, guys, let me know what you think. How does South Africa get that balance right? Am I talking complete rubbish? Is the number six position not the most important role to find that balance in the Proteas side? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, guys, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, click that notification bell for all future videos. Don't forget to subscribe to the digital magazine. It's our monthly magazine. The link is on the screen, and the link will also be in the description. Become a subscriber right now. You'll also get our Monday weekly newsletter. This is also a call for small businesses and for businesses that are looking to automate their sales process. The link is in the description if you want our help in doing so. We are helping businesses automate their sales processes. So please click on the link to find out more about that information. Thanks a lot for all the support. Thanks for watching all of our videos, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Take care.